everybody, welcome to a March reading vlog. I'm doing something a little different and attempting a monthly reading vlog. I'll see how I like doing it. If I like it in March, I'll keep doing it on my channel and it'll just become a regular channel thing. But I'm sorry, I don't know why my lighting is so weird. It's really gloomy outside and the light is just doing weird things with my phone camera. So I feel like I look weird, but oh well. Exciting reading plans for the month of March. Today is March 1st, which means it is the beginning of middle grade March. And so for that, I have a host of different plans. I have a March TBR video talking about all my plans for middle grade March. But this weekend, I've also started reading The Fellowship of the Ring, finally. This is a reread for me. I am buddy reading this with Naomi from Naomi's Bookshelves. And right now, I'm in the middle of chapter 2, so I'm not very far into it at all, but really enjoying it. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm kind of a Lord of the Rings nerd, and I love the movies and the books, and I'm just so excited to be rereading this. So that is in the plans. Anne of the Island is in the plans for the Analog, third book in the series. This week also, I'm gonna drop a book. This week also I am planning on starting the illustrated version of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I don't usually read multiple books at once. However, because there are so many things happening right now, and I have so many specific goals, and I really don't want to get behind on them, I am sort of making a plan for myself. I will also be currently reading this week on audiobook, The Book of Boy. And I decided to do that instead of read the physical copy because I'm a little concerned that at my slow reading pace, I'm not going to get through everything. So I listened to the first 2 chapters of The Book of Boy this morning while I was getting ready for the day. And so far, we have met Boy, and he is sort of a very unfortunate young man. He is an orphan, it sounds like, and he has a hunchback, and he is just sort of like a servant to this household. And then this mysterious stranger comes into town. He calls him the Pilgrim, and he recruits Boy to follow him on his quest journey, and he is looking for the relics of St. Peter. And we just see kind of the environment that Boy is in, and it's a very bleak environment. There's some talk about a pestilence in the land. This is set in medieval times. And Boy seems to have a really good attitude. He talks to animals a couple times so far, and the animals are his friends. He talks to the goats and the dogs, and he has a relationship with animals, and he is just sort of a lonely little boy, but he is, so far, I think, a very like positive attitude about his life, even though obviously you can see his life is really hard. So I'm just 2 chapters into that right now. 2 chapters into this. 2 is the magic number right now. And we'll see how it goes. Today is a gloomy day. We're actually going to get some rain today, but I have a host of errands that I need to do. So I'm going to run to the grocery store. I also need to go to church this morning too, or want to go to church, I should say. And then I've got some laundry. I'm just kind of going to have, I think, an errand morning, and then I'm going to come back and hopefully just kind of hole up and read. I got to practice a little bit today too, but I usually am fairly busy on Sundays, but this Sunday is like remarkably free of commitments, which I'm going to take advantage of and try to get a lot done, and try to get some more reading of this done, because I have a feeling this is a book that's going to take more of my mental capacity. So if I can like read this on the weekends, and then maybe some of like the more middle grade, easier type reads, I will maybe read on the weekdays when I am tired and exhausted. So that's the plan. We're reading multiple books, which is unusual for me. We'll see if I can keep everything straight and meet all my goals. I also, for the first time, made a bullet page journal of like a reading tracker / planner. I have to warn you, my bullet journals don't tend to be very pretty. I'm not an artist of any capacity, and I don't try that hard to make my bullet journals pretty. They're definitely more functional for me. So this is how I'm breaking down my reading so far. every week I'm going to try to get through 5 or 6 chapters of The Lord of the Rings. And then Naomi and I will talk about at the end of the week what we read. And then Anne of the Island, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I broke up the chapters and I have the deadline by which I would like to finish those chapters. And then same thing for Harry Potter. Oh, I think I wrote that. I wrote that wrong. That should say March 29th. Oops, I gotta fix that. And then middle grade books that I'm going to listen to on audio. I want to finish The Book of Boy by this week, so the end of the first week of March. And then I want to do Walk Two Moons on the audiobook too by March 15th, so the second week of March. And then I'm going to probably physically read The Giver and The Westing Game at the end of the month. And then if I accomplish all those things, I will have read all 7 books that I set out to read this month. So trying something different. I don't usually break things down like this. I don't usually write down a reading tracker, but trying something different to kind of help me keep track on my goals, and I can just kind of check off things as we go. And there's my crazy life. I do have spring break, yay, at the end of March, so we're excited for that. That's why I'm planning on reading these at least in the last 2 weeks of March. I could probably definitely actually finish both of these in the last week of March if I don't finish The Giver by March 22nd. So we have some extra reading time. Hooray! Hi everybody. Today is March 6th, Friday, and I'm actually at work right now, and I'm on my lunch break. You can see my classroom. I wanted to update you real quick because I have totally forgotten to update you about middle grade March throughout the week. I probably will only update on weekends, to be honest, just because my weekdays get so crazy. But I have listened to The Book of Boy on audio. I didn't read it physically at all. I only listened to the audiobook version, and I have finished it, and I didn't like it. And I will be really curious to see what everybody else thinks, because it was the group read for middle grade March, and I have a lot of thoughts about why this book isn't appropriate for children, and the source material isn't appropriate for middle grade readers. I have some strong opinions about this book. I didn't think it was totally without merit. However, I wouldn't let my kids read this book for a few reasons. This book, first of all, was not what I thought it would be, and it kind of has to advertise itself in a non-spoiler way, and I get that, but when I realized what the book was actually about, I realized it was probably not a book I would have picked up if I had known that. I thought it was really well done as far as being set in the medieval era and being a really good, well-written picture of what it would have been like to live then. However, the story was really, I just thought, not good. It was just not good. As a Christian, the source material was problematic to me. It talks a lot about heaven and hell. That's a big theme in this book, and they're just things said that I wouldn't want my kids to be thinking about or be concerned with at that young of an age. And I'm not sure a middle grade reader is really in a place to be able to sift through a medieval person would have had this idea about religion and heaven and hell. I don't think a middle grade reader necessarily is going to know that, and so I felt like this book just gave you a lot of information to a reader who wouldn't have context for it. As an adult, I have knowledge about what a medieval person would have believed and would have thought about heaven and hell, but I don't think a middle grade reader would have that knowledge, and that's why I don't think if I had kids that I would want them to read this book at that age. It's really hard to talk about without giving you spoilers, and if you ended up loving this book, I think that's totally awesome, but I did not like it, and I wouldn't recommend it. Aside from the religious aspects that I had a problem with, I thought it was really slow, and that I was having a hard time being interested, and so I think a kid would have an even harder time being interested. Really, I just want to sit down and ask a kid who's read this book what they thought about it. I'd be really curious to know if they liked it or not, or if they understood it or not. Yeah, I would be really surprised to find a kid that liked it, but I'm sure some kids might. I don't know. But I'm not sure they would understand it. Anyways, on happier news, I started Walk Two Moons, and I'm about 5 chapters in. I'm also doing the audiobook, and the audiobook's really good. I'm liking it a lot, and I can tell it's just comparing it to the Book of Boy. Walk Two Moons is so much more accessible for a child, and I think that's obviously really important with middle grade books. My other plan this week was to start reading the illustrated version of Harry Potter. I haven't had time to do that, but I have read some of Anne of Green Gables and Lord of the Rings, which is also something I'm working on, but I haven't sat down and read any Harry Potter yet, so I'm planning on doing that this weekend. I want to get to at least like chapter 5 by Sunday, so we'll see if I can do it. I think I can. I have a pretty busy weekend coming up, and a busy rest of my Friday as well, but we'll see if we can squeeze in a little bit of reading here and there, and I'm just hoping that I enjoy the further middle grade books that I pick up this month, because I'm so disappointed by the Book of Boy. I just did not think it was a good book. I will update you again when I've read some more middle grade books, and hopefully I will have some positive things to say. Hi everybody, it is Saturday, March 7th, and it is such a gloomy day. It's perfect to stay in and read, but sadly, I actually have to go into work because my students have a performance today for like a school district-wide event, and we are performing. One of my bands is performing, so in a couple hours I have to leave to go to work, but it'll be really fun actually. It's really exciting because it's the first time that they get to perform their pieces they've been working on for a really long time, so we're excited about that. It'll be good. But in the meantime, I was listening to Walk Two Moons a little bit more, and I'm just really liking it so much more than my first middle grade book of the month. And I just find Walk Two Moons, what I appreciate is like the voice really does sound like it's coming from a young middle grader. It sounds like it is actually a child speaking, which I think is really important with middle grade books, is the voice and the perspective, that it's authentic. So I appreciate that a lot about Walk Two Moons. It has a lot of family dynamics and the young girl trying to figure out her family dynamics and trying to interpret changes in her life. And I also think that's just a really great theme for a middle grade book. So liking Walk Two Moons very much. Unrelated to middle grade March, last night I got to chapter 10 of Anne of the Island, and I'm really liking it too. There's just some surprise plot events that have really caught me off guard a little bit, but enjoying Anne as always. No surprise there. My husband is out at a men's breakfast at our church, and so I have the house to myself for a little while. I think to just kind of like decompress and de-stress before I go to perform with the kids, or have the kids perform. It's always a stressful experience, but I'm always glad that we do it, but it's always stressful, like getting the kids there, performing with all the people and setting up chairs and stands and percussion equipment and all the things that come along with performing in a school band. So it's always a little stressful. I think for the next hour, or at least until my husband maybe comes home, I'm going to sit down and enjoy a little bit of Harry Potter, the illustrated edition, because I haven't started this yet. And I would like to try to get to chapter 4, at least by the end of tomorrow. Also, tomorrow is super busy because I'm performing. I have a gig with my own instrument. I'm playing with a flute trio, and we're going out to the desert for some event. So we are performing tomorrow too, and I'll be gone probably most of the day. So today's probably the only day I'll be able to squeeze in a little bit of reading, which is a little bit of a bummer because I like my weekends to be free, and this weekend is not very free. But for the next hour, we're going to see if we can make some headway through the beautiful edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm excited about this. Hi. Hello. It has been a week, let me tell you. It has been a really just hard last couple days. And the good news is I did finish Walk Two Moons. So I have finished another book for middle grade March. And I read Walk Two Moons completely on audiobook. And I've basically not had any time to sit down and read anything physical so far. Today is Thursday, March 12th, by the way. And the coronavirus is taking over the world, apparently. And sadly, I was supposed to take my students this weekend to perform in a band festival, and the band festival is now canceled. And it's really a big bummer because the kids worked so hard. They got to perform last weekend for something else, so I'm glad they at least got to do that. But unfortunately, they won't get to perform this weekend. So we're sad about that, but also kind of necessary because there's some crazy germs going around. Today seems to be the day when everyone's making the decisions of like canceling events. My church is only going to have online services this weekend, and our school district just also told us that we have to cancel any event with more than 250 people in the same room. So like after school events, so like concerts and presentations and things like that. So things are serious. I don't know if I really thought they were that serious until all these things started getting canceled. But yeah, things are serious. So a little scary, but we'll see how all this plays out. And then to top that off, yesterday I had a pretty negative evaluation from my vice principal, and it's pretty much BS. And I'm not just saying that because I'm bitter about not being evaluated well. I'm saying that because the comments she made were very indicative of the fact that she doesn't know my content area and she has no idea what I'm doing. And she kind of tried to pretend like she knew what I was doing, and she didn't have good comments for me, a lot of it. And I know I'm not a bad teacher, and I know that she just doesn't know what we're doing. And I know I sound maybe a little egotistical right now, but unfortunately music teachers deal with this quite a lot because very few administrators tend to know our subject area and even tend to notice us. So it ruined my week and it ruined my day. And last night I just basically cried all night because I was really devastated by the things that this administrator told me. And I know I'm not a bad teacher, and she kind of implied that I wasn't working very hard and I wasn't like trying to implement X, Y, and Z. Anyways, I'm not going to go into this anymore because yeah, I'm just not. Anyways, let's talk about Walk Two Moons. I really liked Walk Two Moons. I read it as a child and I really liked it then, but I think I didn't grasp all of the like really deep themes and just the meaning of the story. I really ended up liking Walk Two Moons. I'm giving it 4 stars because I found it to be really great and really deep, and I loved the themes. It's a very sad book, and I think it's maybe going to go over some middle grade readers' heads as far as like the depth of understanding the themes. And it is a book that deals with topics of grief and loss and family dynamics, families changing. So those are definitely all themes that I think a child can relate to. But I think there were some things that I just felt like as an adult I appreciated much more than I probably did as a kid. And I thought it was really well written. There were moments when I laughed out loud. And I was listening to the audiobook and I thought the audiobook was done pretty well. And yeah, it was just full of humor. Very sweet story. Really great characters and lovable characters. Great family dynamics. Great picture of family dynamics and friendship and experiences of how kids deal with each other and how they relate to each other. So it was really, really well done, and I definitely think it deserves the Newbery Medal Award that is bestowed upon it. So really enjoyed it very much. I'm giving it 4 stars more because, I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the mood for a sad book. This sad book, on top of like me just feeling sad this week in general, just kind of was difficult. I'm giving it 4 stars because I wasn't like totally loving it all the time, but I think also I'm really distracted right now. Like really distracted. I hope everyone else's March is going better than mine so far because, man, this week was just not fun. Tomorrow is Friday, and now I have a little more time since our performance got canceled on Saturday. So I'm probably going to sit down and try to read some more Lord of the Rings tonight and think about what middle grade book I'm going to pick up. I'm either going to pick up The Westing Game or I'm going to pick up The Giver. One of those. I'm also in the middle of Harry Potter. So maybe, you know what, maybe I should just focus on Harry Potter first. You know what, we're going to do that. We're going to read Harry Potter along with Lord of the Rings. And I'm also in the middle of Anne of Green Gables. I'm not good at balancing multiple books at once. And it's like stressing me out a little bit. That's silly. Why is it stressing me out? But it is. I'm more of a one book at a time kind of reader. But right now I'm in the middle of 3. So I think I'm going to not listen to audiobooks anymore right now because my mind is really distracted. And I think I'm just going to take a little break from audiobooks because I don't always retain them very well. I kind of think if I had read Walk Two Moons physically, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. So I'm just going to chill for a little bit and try to de-stress from my super crazy week and hope that the world isn't burned down from the coronavirus. Hi everybody. Today is Monday, March 16th, and the world has closed down indefinitely. And it was an interesting weekend. Friday night, while I was out with some ladies from my Bible study, I got an email from work saying that my employment would be temporarily over. I'm a teacher and our schools are closed for the next 3 weeks. Luckily, we're still being paid at least for the next 3 weeks. If it goes on longer than that, I know our teachers union is like having discussions with the district about if it does go on longer, how are they going to compensate teachers? How is that going to work? So far, I'm actually not being required to go in. I know a lot of school districts are having their teachers come in even though there are no students, and my district has so far decided for the teachers to stay home, which is very nice and considerate of them because I know a lot of the teachers also have kids who will be home from school also, and you know, childcare is an issue and all that. So life has changed very quickly. A Monday that I thought I was going to work and now I'm not. So we mostly laid low this weekend. I tried not to go out. I saw a lot of people posting about the stores and the craziness and people overbuying and not having anything left on the shelves. So I decided I'm going to go shopping this morning. It's about 8:30 in the morning right now. And I'm hoping that maybe it'll be sort of stocked maybe after the weekend. At least not crowded with people early on a Monday morning. So that's our hope, but we'll see what the reality actually is. To be honest, I have been quite preoccupied, just like the rest of the world has been with all of this, and I have not read very much this weekend. I did get to chapter 12 of Lord of the Ring, or Fellowship of the Ring, and I got to chapter 15 of Anne and the Island, and this is definitely such a calming read right now. I haven't finished any middle grade or done any middle grade reading since I finished Walk Two Moons. So life has changed very quickly. I'm going to try to go to the store, and hopefully there will be food and items on the shelves. I need paper towels, and I think everybody has bought all the paper towels in the whole world. So I really need some paper towels, people. Stop buying them all. I'm back from the grocery store, and that was an experience. Silly me. I thought maybe it would not be crowded on Monday morning, No. That was maybe the worst time to go. It was packed with people, like completely packed. They had every line open, and there was a line in every single row, and they were out of most things that I needed. Well, okay, I still did get a lot of things that I needed, but obviously out of paper goods, out of all types of meat except steak. So, um, out of pasta except for fettuccine. So I grabbed some fettuccine noodles. Oh man, out of eggs, almost out of milk, but luckily they had just restocked milk. But yeah, it is something else. I've never seen anything like this. Of course, everyone's saying the same thing. You know, everyone's just kind of in shock. And I wish people would stop stockpiling because it's making life difficult. Nonetheless, I think I got enough food for the week at least, and that will hopefully keep us alive. Yeah, I'm still, guys, I'm still just in shock over how the public is reacting to this virus. And I know I'm anxious. I hope you aren't. But if you are, I'm there with you. I am trying to just put my faith in God, and I know that God has gotten the world through crazier things, and he, God has got this, and I'm just trying to remember that. In other news, I actually feel a little tickle in my throat. Am I getting sick? I don't know. Am I just paranoid in my head? Probably. But as of right now, I'm okay. I think the rest of the morning, I am going to film a booktube video because I haven't had the chance to sit down, and my husband is actually out, so I usually try to film videos when he's not at home. So I think I'm going to film my middle grade book tag that I've been meaning to film, and I'm just going to pretend like life is normal, and I'm going to try to forget the terrible grocery store experience. And then hopefully I also will be able to sit down and read some Harry Potter. I'm in the middle of the illustrated edition and loving that. And then also continue with some Anne of the Island. I'm a little bit behind on my goals for like where I wanted to be in my reading life, but obviously I have a lot of time to catch up on those goals, and I am not worried about meeting those goals. So I will update you again when I have a reading update. What are you doing, Dusty? Yeah. You're so cute. Are you being so cute? Hi friends, I have been sick all week, and I don't think I have coronavirus, but you never know. I called my doctor, and they basically just asked me my symptoms, and then I told them, and then they just said, well, it doesn't sound like coronavirus. It sounds like probably just the common cold. But that was also before I got a fever. I got a fever last night, headaches, and very strong cold symptoms. So, I don't know. My doctors, though, said that they don't even have the tests for COVID-19 anyways. So, they're not seeing people for that. So they just said, well, hopefully it's the cold and stay home. So that's what I've done for the last 3 days, is stay home. I think I'm starting to maybe get better, but I'm still pretty out of it. I just took like a 2-hour nap. But I wanted to give you a little reading update. I finished Anne with an E and really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as the other two so far. I still enjoyed it, but there were some things that happened that really shocked me, particularly some like borderline animal abuse treatment, and I was like, oh, I was not ready for that. But other than that, it was pretty good. It was a roller coaster of emotions, though, and definitely I wanted to like yell at her a lot. And I remember I was like, well, Anne is in college now, and when I was in college, I was stupid too. So I feel like Anne just does some stupid things in this book. But she's a college student, so Don't we all do stupid things in college? I don't know. But the ending was so good. Ella Montgomery knows how to write her ending so well. It was so good. It is so rainy outside. I know you can't tell, but it is like dark and rainy. I know it looks really light in the picture, but oh my gosh, I just want to sleep all day. I fell asleep at like 9 last night. I took a NyQuil and I just slept so many hours. So many hours. It's a struggle right now. In the meantime, I have also been reading the illustrated version of Harry Potter, which has been great fun as well. This has been so comforting during a time when I really only want comforting things. Julio and I have also been watching a lot of Disney movies on Disney Plus. We watched Frozen and Frozen 2, which I'm usually not really a big Frozen person, but for some reason I really liked them this time around. And I hadn't seen Frozen 2. I thought it was pretty decent. So, yeah, we've been doing comforting things. And so this has been very comforting and very thankful for Harry Potter at a time like this. Just rereading all of the things. I haven't touched Lord of the Rings in a few days though, so I think I'll probably finish Harry Potter today and then jump back into Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship. So it's kind of where we're at in life. The dogs are happy and cuddling with me all day long, so they're happy that I'm sitting on the couch. I wish I could go anywhere. They just issued in our county basically a full lockdown. A lot of restaurants and movie theaters closing. There's not a lot of places to go right now. I sent Julio out into the world to go get some supplies and things we need. So hopefully he can find them. We really need tissues, things like paper towels that no one has right now. So we'll see what happens. I am so tired. Oh my goodness. And I just took like a 2-hour nap. Okay, we better go before we just fall asleep on the camera. Also, I don't know if I updated you on this, but my school district is now going to be out until at least April 30th. I will not go to work until after April 30th. I think they're still going to pay us for the month of April, but man, after that, what if we are extended further into May? Are they going to pay us? I don't know. I really hope so. Please pay us, because I'm really going to freak out if they don't pay us. Yeah, it's a scary time, guys. It's a scary time. I'm very, very, very thankful that my job is paying me through the month that I'm not going to be working. Very, very thankful. I know that not everyone is in that situation, and I understand that I'm very privileged to be getting paid through this time. So if you are struggling financially because of this virus and your work is being canceled and you're not being paid, I just want to say to you, look for help, get help, look at your options, file for unemployment. Your employer may be able to help you in some way. But yeah, I feel for you people out there for who that is not the case. So keep fighting the good fight. And I don't know where I'm going with this. But okay, check in with you later. Bye. Hi friends. So I'm realizing that my vlog is becoming really long because I did not initially plan to have so much vlog footage. And now I have so much footage with being off of work. So we're going to do a 2-part vlog for March because I still have like a whole other week to go for March. I'll just do a week-long vlog for next week. But we're going to end the vlog here. I did finish Harry Potter last night, and it was great and magical and so comforting to read right now. I think just reading like familiar things and familiar words is going to be really great right now. I am still sick. I do not feel well, but I think I'm getting a little better than yesterday, so hopefully that just means I'll keep getting better. But yeah, really hope that this goes away fast. But we're going to end the vlog here, and I will have a March vlog part 2, because I don't want this to be like an hour-long vlog. It might already be. So, yeah.
keep reading great books. And until next time, see you in my next vlog. Bye.